I gotta go to a little. Shit is ridiculous, bro. Let me see. Mhm. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me, yo. Let me know if y'all can hear me, yo. Sorry for the technical difficulties, man. I've just been having internet issues as always. This will be getting resolved by next week. By Tuesday, this internet situation should be, completely taken care of. So my apologies for that. Yeah, I mean, that's something that's definitely out of my control, but nonetheless, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. We got some things that we currently need to discuss that's going on in the boxing world. We're gonna be talking about the official announcement for Shakur Stevenson and Edgar Berlanga's fight coming up, not against each other, obviously in separate bouts, where they will be headlining at the Louis Armstrong Stadium. And then we're gonna talk about, we may have a possible date for the Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach rematch, along with Jake Paul pretty much letting that cat out the bag in terms of, him formulating a plan to fight Gervonta Davis in November, man. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Shit. Let's see something. How y'all feeling today? How y'all feeling? Shout out to everybody that's in the building. I already see we got a handful of comments. Shout out to Marissa with the first comment of the day. She said, "Hey, Mark, how are you?" I'm doing all right, man. I'm tired, but it is what it is. We midway through the week, so you already know how that go. Tomorrow is the press conference. I'm definitely gonna keep an eye out for that. Chris Maldonado, what up? Coffee Plant, what up? Kirsten Butler, what up? I think that's somebody new in the chat right there. Salute. Agent 86, what up? Ralph. Lions, Boxing and Media. Marky Dan, the historian. What's going on, brother? I don't know if I shouted out Lorenzo yet, but shout out to the boy Lorenzo, showing love from Tokyo. Chris Maldonado said alive and well. That's great to hear, brother. That's great to hear. We got some things that we need to discuss, man. How y'all feeling about Shakur Stevenson and Edgar Berlanga headlining at the Louis Armstrong Stadium? I keep saying Armville. Who the fuck is Armville? Louis Armstrong Stadium. How y'all feeling about that, man? How we feeling about that? A little bit, that's Turkey Al Sheik just thinking outside the box again. You know what I mean? I don't know. What y'all thinking? Because on some real shit, bro, and it's, obviously it's because I'm not from New York or anything like that, but I never even heard of the Louis Armstrong Stadium. Never. Like, I've never even heard of that. Like, I heard of like the Yankee Stadium and shit like that. That's pretty much it, but I'm not from New York, so y'all got to forgive me for that. You feel what I mean? But according to, Google, when you do your research on the Louis Armstrong Stadium, it's a 14,000 seat tennis stadium at the USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center in New York City, one of the venues of the US Open. Okay, so I've heard of the US Open, so I guess, when the US Open comes around, that's one of the places where that event takes place. It opened for the 2018 US Open as a replacement for the 1978 stadium of the same name. Okay, so this is a fairly new stadium. Yeah, I mean, it's not even 10 years old yet. It's about 7 years old, and it holds about 14,000 people. So I'm under the suspicion, based off of hold on. I see a few comments. Berlanga is the main event against Hamza Shiraz. We shouldn't be surprised, though. Hamza Shiraz is Turk Al-Sheik's people. You know what I'm saying? So Turk Al-Sheik, the one putting the money up, he gets to decide who's the main event. So it might be a little bit of bias in there, might be a little bit of favoritism, whatever the case is. But Shakur Stevenson obviously doesn't have an issue with it because, that's the second time that he's been like the co-main event for a Turkey Al Sheik card. Maybe Shakur not, too fine. Maybe Turkey ain't too fond of Shakur. Like he knows Shakur talented and stuff like that, but he probably don't look at Shakur as like one of his favorite fighters. And based off of what we've seen with Turkey Al Sheik so far, he seems the favorite. He seems to give privileges to his favorite fighters like Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford has yet to fight in Riyadh. You know what I'm saying? Each time the two fights that he has made with Turkey Al Sheik is all going down in the States. Whether we talking about the Israel Majamov fight that took place in LA and now the Canelo Alvarez fight is bound to happen in either Los Angeles, New York, or Las Vegas. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, Knicks in the series right now. Oh, okay, yeah, I haven't been following basketball, man. It's sad because I used to follow basketball heavy, especially in high school. But I just been locked in with the boxing shit, so I don't really be worried about anything that don't have to do with boxing. I'll probably watch a little MMA, but that's it, bro. Um, but look, man, listen, Turkey Al Sheik, he over here getting a 14,000 seat venue. So he's probably looking to have a lot of people there. I don't think he was. I don't think he will aim that high to expect like a mediocre. To expect mediocre numbers in terms of like gate. You feel what I'm saying? So let's see what happens, man. That's gonna be a lot to pack. You feel what I'm saying? I think Toronto Ennis packed about like 14,000 people at the Wells Fargo. So it's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. Shakur Stevenson, he right down the block from New York. He from Newark, New Jersey. Um, William Cepeda, I believe he's from the. I mean, obviously he's Mexican, so it might be a little bit hard to get the Mexicans up there in New York, but they might come out. You never know. But Edgar Berlanga might definitely help that situation as well because he's from New York. You know what I mean? He's from Brooklyn or whatever the case is. So, um, you know, I think it's gonna do some good numbers. You know, I see what y'all saying in terms of y'all criticism. I'm seeing Coffee Plant say something like we couldn't get MSG or Barclays. I don't know exactly what's going on around them time frames. Maybe the Barclays or MSG was booked, but regardless, Turkey Al Sheik, he's been doing a lot of unconventional shit as of lately, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I was telling y'all yesterday, he wanted to do a fight in Alcatraz. What like why? Why do you like you just thinking of different places and just be like, yo, let's put a boxing ring there. Like, bro, sometimes simple is better. You feel what I'm saying? The Barclays has a history of doing boxing events and doing some record breaking numbers. Why not consider that Madison Square Garden has held some of the biggest fights in boxing's history, a fucking staple in boxing? Why not just go towards there? You bought the Ring magazine because of the history it holds in the sport of boxing. So let's not act like Turkey LSU. Let's not act like you don't care for like historic things in the sport. You bought one of the most historical things that the boxing world has as of right now. It's yours. You own it now. So you would think that you would try to preserve some type of history by making these big fights happen in these arenas that are known for boxing, but you're putting this in a tennis stadium. I don't really understand, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Maybe it'll work out. Maybe it'll work out. Marky Dan talk about Shakur a hoe. God damn. Next gen talking about, man, why Shakur clout chasing Conor Ben? Damn, y'all coming at Shakur crazy. It's real funny that Shakur is willing to fight Ben at 54, but not Devin at 47. Yeah, I've seen that. I remember when Tito Mercado was talking shit to Shakur. Shakur was talking about, oh, can you come down to 35? Oh, man, I ain't going up for you. You a nobody. Oh, you a nobody. So it's like he trying to pick and choose. First of all, Shakur ain't going to know 154 pounds. Like, you not. You feel me? Like, that's not something that you're going to do. Even if you genuinely feel like you'll defeat Conor Ben, you're not going to 154 to do that. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be sluggish as hell. You ain't got no business being there. Like you be having trouble making 35 from what I see. So I can only imagine if you put on 19 pounds, how much different you would feel. You probably don't even walk around 154. So ain't nobody trying to hear that shit, bro. That's why like that trash talk shit on the internet is starting to get real boring to me because most of these guys that be talking and popping shit to each other, they not gonna fight each other any fucking way. So why are we gonna sit here and entertain the shit? Now if they had a fight signed and they popping their shit back and forth, all right, man, get y'all popcorn out, enjoy the entertainment. You feel what I'm saying? Because that trash talk be real entertaining, especially if they know how to trash talk. But going back and forth on the internet and y'all know damn well y'all not fighting each other anytime soon. It's a waste of energy for real. It's definitely a waste of energy. Why would I decide? Why would I use my energy to be worrying about these two motherfuckers arguing? I watch motherfuckers argue every day. I'm in Philadelphia. Bro. I'm gonna tell y'all this morning. I was down Kensington. I was down like Kensington and Lehigh, and this fucking car was like tailgating this other car. So the girl that was getting tailgated, she pulled over, bro. Mind you, it's like 8:30 in the morning, close to 8:30 in the morning, and she's screaming her fucking lungs out, bro, face all red and shit. And my son could, my son in the back seat, and he could see it, and he looking like this, he like mouth open and all, like. And I looked back at him, and he looked at me. He started laughing. I'm like, bro, there's no way, bro. I was like, ain't no way my son is able to pick up on some nut shit this early on in his life. He looked at her. He looked at me. He was like, huh. I was like, bro, there's no fucking way that you just picked up that shit was funny. Like, his sense of humor is going to be fucking hilarious, bro. If he laughing at shit like that already, that's the bid. But, bro, listen, I'm getting sick of the back and forth on social media, bro. If y'all not gonna fight, just shut the fuck up. Seriously, like why even take the time to talk shit to each other? It's like y'all ever seen them videos of like them dogs that be like they be one dog be on one side of the fence and the other dog be on the other side of the fence and they be barking at each other all crazy. They be looking like they ready to kill each other and shit. And then as soon as the fucking gate opens for both of them to actually do something to each other, they real nice and calm. Like they get like that. Like that's how motherfuckers be getting riled up on social media. They be popping shit to each other, then they be in the same arena at the same time, and shit never happens. Like who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like this shit is just corny, bro. Like I said, if your motherfuckers not fighting, just shut the fuck up. Really. You feel me? So Connor Bunn, he popping the shit. I mean, Shakur popping the shit at Connor Bunn for some reason. Um, you be telling motherfuckers that you got bigger fish to fry and shit like that, and you not worried about these motherfuckers. But you worried about Conor Benn, who's not a champion. His last fight was at 160 pounds. He's a welterweight. He's a 147. Why are you worried about Conor Benn when you got William Cepeda in front of you, the top contender of 135 pounds right now? I hope you ain't underestimating motherfuckers, man. Hope you ain't thinking since you fixing your hands and shit like that you could just worry about other fighters. You need to worry about what's in front of you. It'd be so funny, like, because when these dudes be doing these interviews and these media guys be asking them about like future opponents, oh, I can't focus on him right now, man. My mind's set on this person, and after this fight, then we could talk about that. But y'all, and from that PC answer, you know what I'm saying? You're like, oh, okay, he focused. But y'all be lying, bro, because y'all be on social media talking about beating other people ass when you got a whole other opponent in front of you. And then it's like he definitely is clout chasing. But then why you choose to clout chase Conor Benn? Because he had a big fight in the UK and you ain't never have a big fight like that in the US? Your fights ain't ever garnered that much attention that Conor Benn has. So you over here trying to steal some light from him? Like what is it? You shouldn't even be worried about fighting Conor Benn. He just lost. He about to rematch. He about to rematch Chris Eubank. What are we talking about? because he don't want them 135 contenders. You know, Javier Herrera, number 6 in the WBC now. Javier Herrera is fucking trash, bro. Like, I'm sorry, like there ain't no fight for Shakur. Just just being honest. Javier Herrera needs to fight somebody in that WBC rankings though. That's what I'm hearing. Like, I heard that kind of Ben wants to rematch. He pretty much wanted it right away after he lost. And Chris Eubanks said that the 3 fights that he really wants right now is a rematch with Conor Ben, a rematch with Billy Joe Saunders, and I think he even mentioned the Canelo Alvarez fight. Javier got 3 million followers with 4 likes. Yo, them followers is paid for it, cuz like how y'all don't feel embarrassed when y'all do that because y'all know like here and there, like Instagram, like they go on sweeps where like they get rid of like spam accounts and shit. You ever seen that where like motherfuckers will pay for followers? There was this dude I went to high school with. His name was Mark, just like me, right? But his name was really Mark. My name was Marcus or whatever. So his name was Mark. And fat black boy, whatever, cool as shit, bro. But he was like buying followers on social media, and this nigga literally had like 10K followers. And at that time, if you had 10K followers, like you was the fucking man, cuz like, you know what I'm saying? Cause I was, man, we used to be flexing our followers in high school. We only had like 1,500. I mean, he had like 10K followers, right? And I'm like, bro, how the fuck he got 10K followers? He only getting this many likes. Yo, Chris, you peak. Yo, Chris, you went to high school with me. You know what I'm talking about, bro. I completely forgot Chris went to fucking yeah. Bro, that nigga Mark Stroman, that nigga used to be capping, cuz. Yo, this nigga had like 10K followers. You're like, yo, how the fuck this nigga got 10K followers? Don't nobody know this nigga? Bro, then nobody know this nigga, bro. So I remember, I'm like, bro, this nigga ain't getting no likes on his pics, but he got 10K followers. How the fuck that work? So everything boxing. I see y'all on here misleading the fans. Who misleading the fans? What are you talking about? Who misleading? Who I'm misleading? I want to hear this. How I'm misleading fans? What did I say? I don't be liking that shit. Fuck is we even talking about? Yeah, Mark was on that shit though, bro. Cause I remember I had looked through. I'm like, bro, let me see this nigga followers. I said, let me see this nigga followers, bro. They was like all spam accounts, bro. Like no profile pictures. They had like the weirdest usernames. I'm like, bro, get the fuck out of here. They put him in timeout before he could even respond. Damn, I wanted him to respond. Y'all went a little too quick with them wrenches this time, man. Southwest Dice said Mazuma be wanting to box. Fuck all that talking. Nah, bro, I'm talking about how I'm misleading fans. You can't. I didn't say anything misleading. What did I say that was misleading? That's what I'm trying to figure out. He a weirdo. He impersonated somebody else. That's a weirdo. Yeah, fuck out of here. As a matter of fact, I ain't give a fuck about his response. It's cool. But yeah, man, Shakur, Edgar Berlanga, headlining the Louis Armstrong Stadium, 14,000 people. Are they going to be able to get 14,000 people off of their star power alone? Shakur, knee pad boys. That's fucking crazy. Who's on there? That's a crazy ass name. I hope you're not serious with that name. I hope this is a troll account. I hope knee pad boys is a troll account. I really hope that's a troll account. That is wild. But be prepared, y'all. It seems like it's gonna be one of them days where the trolls gonna be coming out here with their fake accounts. Yeah, I mean they piled up all their fake accounts and they about to attack now. So, yeah, I mean y'all gotta be careful. knee pad boys is crazy. That nigga must have just left Diddy's trial. Motherfuckers must have just left Diddy trial. You know what I mean? But yeah, get ready, cause I think this is gonna be a troll stream for real, for real. My name is Teddy. What? What are we talking about? Yeah, let's get to the topic, bro. I'm getting distracted. But yeah, man, off of the star power of Shakur Stevenson and Edgar Berlanga alone, can they pack 14,000 people in this arena? I think it's definitely possible because, like I said, Jerron Ennis was able to do so at the Wells Fargo just off of the strength of his name alone, fighting guys like David Evanesian and Karen uh, Chukazan or whatever the fuck his name is. So it's possible. I definitely think it's possible. And Edgar Berlanga, he's claiming he's the king of New York. How the fuck is he even claiming that? I don't know. That man is 0-1 in world title fights, but he wants to let you know he's the king of New York when we actually have a world champion in New York right now by the name of Richardson Hitchens, who I'm not that fond of, but he is better than Edgar Berlanga, in my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I think that Shakur Stevenson being from Newark, New Jersey, his fan base not going to be too far away. They'll be willing to travel over to Queens, you know what I mean, and support that man in his a big fight that he's having against William Cepeda. Edgar Berlanga, besides Canelo, I think this is his best opponent to date, and Hamza Shiraz, who's making his super middleweight debut. So I think they could pack 14,000 people, bro. I mean, I think they could pack 14,000 people. So, you know, I would have liked to have seen this happen and more of like a place that's known for boxing, like the Barclays or MSG, whatever the case is. But, Turkey Al Sheikh, he's been thinking outside of the box. He's trying to bring you events and settings that the boxing world has never seen before. I appreciate, his optimism and his attempt to be creative. But, in my personal opinion, man, sometimes simple is better. You know what I mean? And just like the saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like if these big events have been able to, take place at Madison Square Garden, if these big events were able to take place at the Barclays consistently throughout the years, then why go against that? You know, bro, these niggas is weird, cuz. These niggas is weird. Niggas is acting like blue blood. These niggas is crazy, bro. I'm trying to tell you. Blue blood. I think blue blood came on my channel a couple times. Pause. So sad, so sad. Next gen said Big Hitch gonna stop Cambosis. That'll be impressive because Cambosis done got stopped by like Vasil Lomachenko and stuff like that. But Cambosis is tough. You know what I mean? I really don't like the fight for Hitchens in all honesty. I don't like it at all, but it is what it is, man. Motherfuckers trying to get a title defense, I guess. Smoochie, what up? What up? What up? I ain't gonna lie, bro. I thought like today was like a slow boxing day. Nothing really interesting came up that we haven't already discussed previously. Well, we haven't nothing really came up today that we haven't spoken about. Damn, bro, my words is all fucked up today. Nothing came out today that's new. You know what I mean? Pretty much everything that's on the news we don't already spoke about already. Anonymous said if he punches to the body, probably that's what got Loma the stoppage. Yeah, but Hitchens is a lot more I think Loma lets his hands go. You know what I mean? He put that pressure, you know what I mean? He let his hands go. And he really has he really has the intention of, breaking you with his accumulation. Richardson Hitchens, he just like the Keep his jab out there. You know what I mean? Keep you at the end of his punches. Like, I haven't really seen Hitchens really show that dog. You know what I mean? That's just my personal opinion. What? Yeah, Hitchens don't take as many chances. He don't take as many chances as a Loma. He's not as aggressive as Loma. So I think it's gonna be a little hard to stop Kambosos. You know what I mean? Now, if Hitchens was to catch him at the end of a right hand, you know what I mean, and stun him and actually show some finishing abilities, then he could probably stop, George Kambosos. But like I said, George Kambosos ain't no bitch. You know what I mean? So he ain't gonna go away right away. You know what I mean? You gotta literally force him out the exit. You got to force him out the door. If not, he gonna stay there for the whole 12 rounds. So I think that Richardson Hitchens will win comfortably. I think he'll outbox Kambosos. I don't think he stops Kambosos though. But if he does, that'll be impressive. That'll be impressive. I don't like the fight, but I do recognize that Kambosos is a tough fighter. So if Hitchens, who hasn't really had no big knockouts yet in his career, in my opinion, if he's able to get that against Kambosos, a former unified champion, then that'll be impressive because only Lomachenko was able to stop him in the losses that he's had. Devin Haney wasn't able to stop him, and he fought him twice. He beat Teofimo Lopez. Lopez dropped him, but he couldn't finish him. You know what I'm saying? Bro, what? Yo, the trolls is out here. Yo, the trolls is really out here, bro. And that's definitely a man that's writing that. Women don't say shit like that. Yo, hold on, we gotta highlight this. This is hilarious. Angel Sirianni. Respectfully, boxing talk is all good. But who is in the tri-state area that's trying to clap these cheeks? God damn. Yo, that sound like one of them advertisements that just be like, you know, that just be on them, them corn websites. You feel me? Them corn websites. Yo, that's fucking hilarious, bro. Niggas is the bid. I got a Packer, but him, that's definitely a guy. That's how sick people be, bro. These be grown men finding pictures of women, putting it as their profile picture and impersonating women. Like, that's some. These dudes be having some real fruity fantasies, bro. Some real dysfunctional fruity fantasies. Sending it from a Chris said he's sending it from a call center. He out of pocket. That's a He-Man. Yeah. Yo, Lorenzo, I'm not even about to put that on the screen because then I'm gonna get demonetized. But that's what I was getting at, yeah. But anyways, back to the topic. Like J. Cole said, back to the topic. So there's some rumors going around, man. These reporters out here been doing their job. Shout out to these reporters that be on Twitter and shit like that. Let me actually shout out to Boxing and Barbecue. Well, Boxing Kingdom. And they got their source from Brunch Boxing, I guess. So let's just shout out Brunch Boxing because that's who it came from. You feel me? Um, and we gonna get into the Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis situation. We gonna touch on that briefly. But shout out to Brunch Boxing. They say scoop alert. TGB Promotions and Premier Boxing Champions have put a hold on the T-Mobile Arena for August 16th. Sources tell Brunch Boxing that the rematch between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. is being tabbed for that date. So y'all heard it. I guess the rematch is going through between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. If that's the case, shout out to Lamont Roach for getting that opportunity and, making a name for himself in that first fight and getting his respect. And when Gervonta Davis was about to run out the door and not pursue that rematch, Lamont Roach was able to get the fans on his side to pretty much put Tank in a corner where he had no choice but the rematch. You know what I mean? Tank didn't like the response that he received from the people. So he looking to right his wrongs. So I like it. I'm looking forward to seeing these two fight. I think they both could do things to improve their chances of winning in the rematch. Me personally, if I'm in Gervonta Davis's corner, he definitely got to start quicker. And I don't know. I don't know if he'll be able to stop Lamont Roach because he hit Lamont Roach with some crazy ass punches, and Lamont didn't go anywhere. Lamont said that he was too small and all types of shit. So in Lamont Roach's head, there's nothing that Tank could do to hurt him. So if I'm Tank, we definitely gotta put our punches. We gotta start fast, start early, not lose the early rounds, anything like that. And we gotta out hustle Lamont Roach. You know what I'm saying? And Lamont Roach, he not somebody that is gonna sit there and let you beat on him. He gonna catch and shoot and all types of shit. So if he gonna be sitting in the pocket and catching and shooting, Gervonta Davis has to punch and move. He has to punch and move. He has to punch and move. Don't never give Lamont Roach don't give Lamont Roach plenty of scenarios where he could sit, catch a shot and then counter you in between and make you look dumb, because he's even showed the power necessary to wobble you. We've seen it happen in the fight. So Tank is going to have to do some outboxing. I think he's going to have to do some outboxing with Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach, on the other hand, in all honesty, Lamont Roach, he needs to stop just the mistake that he made in the Tank fight, in all honesty, was Tank will throw two punches and then he'll come off and land two punches. Like he was doing it was like he was almost mimicking Gervonta Davis, right? He was almost mimicking him. Gervonta would throw three punches. Lamont would stay in the pocket, throw three punches. Like he didn't do he was pretty much mimicking Tank, giving the same amount of effort. What you have to do is you have to you got to capitalize off of Gervonta Davis's mistakes. So let's say Gervonta Davis throws two punches and you able to catch that last shot. You need to be throwing 3-4 straight down the pipe. Like you have to be if you're going to be playing the counter puncher role, you need to be throwing more punches than the combinations that Gervonta Davis has started the exchange with. Gervonta Davis throws one punch. You need to come off with at least 2 or 3. Gervonta coming off with 3, you need to be shooting 5. Like you need to be more active than Gervonta Davis. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, it was like he was mirroring Tank. Absolutely. It was like they were fighting at the same level. So with Lamont Roach going back and watching the fight, we even seen his live reaction of him watching the fight. He needs to step it up a notch in terms of countering the combinations. You know what I'm saying? He needs to impose himself more. He needs to be more assertive in the ring. Now that could leave some openers to get you countered by Tank, but Lamont Roach, he genuinely feels like he can't be knocked out against Tank. He genuinely feels like he's a dog, that there's nothing that Gervonta could do power wise that could really throw him off. You feel me? Just my opinion. Well, that's what I take from how the way Lamont Roach be talking. You know what I mean? He said them boys was sparring. It was like, yeah, bro, like that's kind of no, it was exciting. Let's not get it wrong. But Lamont wasn't really he wasn't really trying to step up his game. I guess it wasn't in his mind to outperform Tank. I think he just wanted to show Tank, like, I'm here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm here. Like, I'm a dog. Like, let's get this shit popping. I think that's what he was more set on instead of outperforming Tank to, clearly win these rounds. So I think it's going to be very interesting. I think that this fight, in all honesty, because I think they are kind of even in the skill set department, I think it's going to come down to who feel like they have something more to prove. Who's more motivated? Who's more driven in this camp? Gervonta Davis got a shit ton of motivation to go off of, bro. You know what I mean? He got a lot of shit that he could use to motivate him. I know he done heard the critics. I know he done heard, what a lot of fighters had to say about the fight, thinking that he lost. That's something else that might motivate him. A lot of people thought that he lost the fight. A lot of people question, Paulie Malignaggi saying that you got bitch in you. Like that could be motivating. And, nobody wants to be embarrassed. You feel me? Especially in boxing. Don't nobody want to get, beat up in the ring, you know what I'm saying, knocked out, whatever the case is. And Tank done had a close call in his last fight. So he's looking to right his wrongs. He wants to make a statement to let you know that, yo, Lamont not on my level. I just had an off night. And Lamont, on the other hand, he has motivation as well. He was like, man, like, look what I was able to do in this first fight. Now that I know how he fights as a professional, now I'm about to show y'all niggas what I'm really like. You feel me? And he was like, and what could also motivate him, I was this close to beating him in the first fight. I'm gonna leave this shit. I'm gonna leave the second fight with no doubt in the people's mind. You feel me? So this is gonna be interesting. It's crazy how I went from a fight that we didn't want to see at all to it being a fight that we need to see next. See how this shit? You see how this shit going boxing? You know what I mean? That was a cherry pick going wrong, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. That was a cherry pick going wrong. So let's see how this rematch go, bro. I'm looking forward to seeing, the new press conferences that's gonna come out, when this rematch is announced. And if it does take place in August 16th, then I'll be tuned in. I'll definitely be tuned in. I might be in Puerto Rico around that time, but um I'll definitely be tuned in no matter where I'm at in the world. Uh Next gen said Tank got a star team. Why you don't want to see the rematch? Did you not see what happened in the first fight? You the only person I ever heard since the first fight that said they don't want to see the Roach and Tank rematch. That's wild. Marissa said Rolly was saying stuff about Tank in training camp before the Lamont fight. What about it? What, Tank was going through some things? Is that what you're referring to? Marissa, you gotta be a little bit more specific. T said, "Is the rematch a legacy fight?" Um, for Lamont, it definitely can be. I, to be honest with you, yeah, I think it's a legacy fight on both sides. Because for one, this is the first controversial fight that Tank has ever had in his career, and this is a fight that, like I said, people thought he lost. You know what I mean? People thought that he lost that Lamont Roach fight. It was a very controversial fight. So now he's being called upon by the boxing fans to spin the block, and the fans are demanding that he show that he had an off night, and you know they want to see if it was really an off night or if Lamont is really on that level. So yeah, the pressure's on. This is a legacy fight for Lamont Roach. If he beats Gervonta Davis, it takes him to a whole new level of superstardom. So yeah, this is a legacy fight for both guys. This is a fight when they look back on their career, people gonna remember. You know what I mean? This is Tank's Floyd Mayweather Castillo situation. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta see what's going on. We gotta see what's going on. Was Tank just lacking that night, or is Lamont really that good? That's what we gonna have to see. Cause man, Tank was supposed to handle that and be on to the next. I hope he win and get back on track though. Well, anything can happen in boxing, so it's not like you can't really technically say Tank was supposed to handle that. You know what I'm saying? Because anything can happen on any given night. But I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Like, a lot of people assumed that he was going to defeat Lamont, including myself, including myself. But considering the fact that it wasn't an easy night, and we actually seen Tank go up against some shit that night for the first time in his career, I want to see. I want to see. This is what's going to show what Tank is really built like. If Tank really crumbles to Lamont's pressure in his rematch, all right, Tank not who we thought he was. You know what I'm saying? But if he go in here, let's say he sparked Lamont early, oh, all right, Tank letting it be known that he one of them. That maybe he did have an off night. So I'm very interested in the rematch. Very interested in the rematch. He said, G tatted up TV said it definitely wasn't an off night. I'm on record telling people from the jump when the fight was announced that Lamont was on that level. Well, you were one of very few people, brother. And you know, I respected Lamont as a champion, right? But I seen when I was watching Lamont coming up, with that Jamel Herring fight and shit like that, I didn't think that he had what it took to defeat a Gervonta Davis. You feel what I'm saying? But he stepped up his game. He actually knew Gervonta Davis since they was kids. I think that needs to be taken into account. His father done trained Tank for done helped train Tank for like a national tournament in the amateurs. So not only does he know the fighter, but his father knows the fighter in Gervonta Davis. So they had some things psychologically, you know, they had some things psychologically going into this fight that played to their advantage. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I really want to see this fight. This is just a different story for Tank. Tank ain't ever been up against somebody who genuinely knew him and had the confidence in themselves where it's like, you know what I mean? Like I ain't scared of you how, a Frank Martin scared of you. Cause I was back watching the I went back, what was it, like 3 days ago, and I was watching the Gervonta Davis and Frank Martin fight. And Frank Martin started off well, but like you could just tell he was so worried about what Tank was doing, bro. He was so like he literally looked like he was fatiguing mentally. Did y'all watch that Frank Martin fight, bro? It looked like he was like because that pressure that Tank was putting on him, it looked like it was wearing him down, not from a physical aspect. Not from a physical aspect, but from a mental aspect. Like he was just so concerned. Like he was panicking. Not like, from the outside and showing it, like literally panic, but like on the inside, you could just tell, like from a mental aspect, he was panicking, like, oh shit, I can't get this nigga up off me. Like, what the fuck? I think he was just so worried about what Tank was going to do that he just fell apart, like he crumbled. That's what happens when you inexperienced at a high level. You could fall victim to your own mind. You feel me? Yeah, bro. That was another thing I noticed. Tank a faint, and this nigga Frank would just he act like a nigga just let a gun off or some shit. He over here trying to dodge a 22 or something. Like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with Frank? Frank was really on some turkey shit after them first few rounds. Yeah, bro. I told y'all after that press conference when Tank went like that and Frank Motion, nigga, I said Frank Ocean. Bro, I need to fucking sleep, bro. Frank Martin flinched all heavy, bro. I was like, yo, that's very telling because Tank has never been known to swing at anybody during the press conference. But you so worried about him. Like you so concerned about him that you jumping. Like you jumping that hard, bro. Yeah, I said Frank Ocean, bro, instead of Frank Martin. Jesus Christ. A tornado flew around my room before you came. Excuse the lesson made, and usually doesn't rain in Southern California, much like Arizona. My eyes don't shed tears, but boy, they ball when I'm thinking about you. Oh, no, no, no. Frank Ocean was that nigga back in like 2011, 2012. Yeah, I'm from Philly, G. Slime said, shut up. Ah. Nah, Frank Ocean was the man back when I was in like seventh, eighth grade. I still be listening to that John Novocaine, but I'm a heavy R&B boy. That's probably why. He was thinking about a man, yeah, but we ain't know that back when we was in seventh, eighth grade though, brother. We ain't know that. We ain't know that he liked men. We ain't know that till after the fact. When them songs came out, nobody knew Frank was fruity. But then when you listen back to the songs, like, oh, makes sense now. What's going on with Danny Garcia? He's still fighting. Um, I think Danny, he definitely don't got anything set in stone. He's been really focused as a promoter. And he's honestly doing a great job. I ain't gonna lie to you. You can tell he's tapped in with what's going on in the amateur scene in Philly. He's been signing some solid dudes. And this is what I've been saying. I'm like, yo, Philly's a fucking gold mine. for up and coming talent in boxing, bro. There's so many talented amateurs when they turn pro, they're gonna be absolute monsters. They just need that proper guidance. Danny Garcia being a two-division world champion, done been in all these big fights. He knows what it takes to get these guys to the top. You feel me? So like, and I was just saying, I was like, yo, whoever as a promoter is able to really tap into the Philly boxing scene, they gonna have some world champions, man. They gonna have some world champions. Danny's working. But I seen an interview that he had done with Wyatt Son where he said he don't want to, he got stopped by Aries Landy Lara. He said that he don't want to go out like that. He probably gonna do one more fight and then hang him up. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you from 60th and Mark. So that's what's that? West Philly? So you must know do you know Tifo Burlington? His father got a barbershop around there. 54th and Willows. Oh, wow. I'm from North though. I'm from like the middle of North. I'm from up, up like 7th and Lehigh over there. He said play that new Danny. You deserve a 10-second timeout for that coffee. I'm gonna let you slide though. Yeah, Danny be having boxing events coming. He's been having some, fight dates and shit. You can tell he putting his money up. Like he not one of them promoters that's, you know, that be half assing and shit. Like Danny really working. Danny need to stop rapping though. He gonna make me smoke myself. Ralph, you deserve a 10-second timeout, brother. Y'all wildin' today. This nigga said he finna take over the rap game. Yo, Ralph need to get timed out. You wild, cousin. Next gen said, you think Mordecai right to go to the IBF route even with Loma defending up in the air, or should he go straight for Keyshawn? I mean, if he got the IBF interim, he might as well go all in to see what Lomachenko want to do. You feel what I'm saying? If Vasil Lomachenko plans on retiring, he need to just go ahead and vacate that IBF strap, and they either have Mordecai fight for the vacant IBF title, being the interim champion, or they just elevate him to the IBF lightweight champion of the world, and then he can explore fights with guys like Keyshawn and shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? But it's like if you already knocking at the door for an IBF, world title, you might as well just stay there. It wouldn't make sense to grab an IBF interim, then lead the IBF interim behind to go face Keyshawn. It's like, bro, you knocking on this champion door right here. Why you got to relocate and go knock on somebody else's door? Keyshawn about to fight Edwin De Los Santos, so that's not even something that's possible right now. And who knows how the way De Los Santos and Keyshawn going to go. Keyshawn will most likely beat him. You know what I'm saying? He is understandably the favorite, but Edwin De Los Santos, he be having some shit in the tuck. He a dangerous motherfucker, so we gotta see what he on. Loma Duncan Ninjas Mazuma. Loma don't want to box no more. 25th of Cecil B. Moore. Oh, all right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm where all the Ricans at. You where all the black people at, cuz. Where I grew up, it was like all Ricans and like some black people. This nigga said, I'm from Hope and Somerset. Nigga, no, you not. That's my hood. Hope and Somerset, my hood. My gym on 6 in Somerset, so it was right down the block. Yeah. Let me see. Said Loma, my neck and my back. Usyk and Bud older than Loma, but this the thing. This the thing though, Big Soldier. I don't. Usyk had a lot of fights actually, but Loma done had like 400 amateur fights, bro. That's a lot of wear and tear, bro. A lot of wear and tear. Me and Chris went to high school together, not middle school. I was in the hood for middle school, cuz. Oh, Chris, you from Kensington? Where at? You remember? Me and Chris never spoke during high school either. Like I knew who he was. Yo, Chris, I'm gonna ask you, did I have a bad reputation in high school, bro? Do you remember? I know a lot of niggas ain't like me, bro. I always heard I had a bad reputation. I want to know what you think, though. Badlands, absolutely. See, you know what I'm talking about, brother. You know, motherfuckers. I was just talking to. Oh man, what? You from Masher and Lehigh, bro? I used to play ball right there. Word. Oh, all right. Nigga, that ain't Kensington, bro. That's Badlands, nigga. What is you talking about? Chris, you from Badlands, cuz you not from no Kensington. Kensington is not Badlands. Oh, not that you know of. Yeah, we had different circles, but a lot of people ain't like me. Cause their girlfriends thought I was cute and shit like that. Or girls they liked thought I was cute. So, you know what I mean? That's how it was. High school was fun though. High school was fun though. I wish I went into high school knowing what I knew now. Slime. You talking about I never got pussy in school. You ain't getting pussy now, you fucking long titty, no life, greasy neck ass nigga. But I'm Asher and Lehigh, Chris, um, near the hospital. That was the hospital that I was born at. Episcopal Hospital. I was born there. January 11th, 1998, brother. But yeah, niggas hated me in high school. But yeah, man. So let's get into some open boxing topics, man. We spoke about Shakur, Edgar, Berlanga headlining the Louis Armstrong Stadium. We spoke about how Tank and Lamar Roach may possibly fight August 16th at the T-Mobile Arena because TGB and Premier Boxing put a hold on that date over at the T-Mobile Arena. So we'll see. It's all speculation as of right now. But what's not speculation is what Jake Paul has just said. He just did a press conference with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who he will be fighting. You know, his first actual fighter that he'll be fighting that actually won a world title. That's not that old. You feel what I'm saying? Chavez Jr. is a bum. Let's not get it wrong. He was a product of, favoritism, just being the son of a legend. That was why he ultimately got a world title. But once Chavez Jr. stepped up in competition, he laid eggs and even quit in fights. Jake Paul sees that Chavez Jr. is not the same, cannot fight a lick. He's absolutely shot. You know what I'm saying? From what I heard, he fuck with drugs. That's what I heard. I'm not saying that for sure. So Jake Paul looking at him like an easy lick. You feel me? Chavez looking slow. You know what I mean? All types of shit. So Dark Low from my hood. I actually delivered food to AR Ab and Dark Low when I was like 19, bro. I delivered food to AR Ab and Dark Low. Dark Low was on the porch. AR Ab came out the crib. True story. And it wasn't too far away from where I grew up, so he might be from Badlands. So for clarification, bro, like Badlands, the Fair Hill section of Philadelphia is Badlands. The FBI named the Fair Hill section of Philadelphia Badlands because of uh the drug infestation. Like I don't know if it's called a drug infestation, but like because it was known for like its high crime rate and its drug, you know, the drug problem that was around and shit like that. So when people say they from Badlands, they a lot of them be lying half the time because they not from the Fair Hill section of Philadelphia. You feel me? People see a bunch of Ricans in like Hunting Park and be like, "Oh, I'm in Badlands, nigga. That's not Badlands." You know what I'm saying? So they associate all of North Philly with being Badlands. No, it's not what it is. You said, "Damn, 88. I feel old in here." Fuck you mean? You was born in 88? Google Maps says West Kensington, bro. That's cap. That's absolutely cap. Google Maps don't know. Let me see something real quick. Fair Hill section of North Philadelphia. Just look at Fair Hill, Philadelphia, right? I'm about to share the screen with y'all. Take a look. Hold on. My fault for getting off topic. I ain't really interested in what's going on right now. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Keep it real. I ain't really interested in all the bullshit. We already done spoke about everything. Hold on. What the fuck is that? Oh, all right here. So let me share the screen. Yeah. Type in Masher and Lehigh. Bro, I'm about to show you. I'm about to show you right now. So you got, I don't give a fuck what Google telling you. They don't know what they talking about. Just check this shit out. I grew up right over in this area over here. Right? I grew up right around this area right here. Masher and Lehigh. Let me see. I'm gonna tell you right now. You see how this is like Kip, B Street. Badlands ends at B Street. Badlands ends at B Street. So this is Second Street right here. Hold on, let me go down. So Masher is right around here. So you're in Badlands, brother. West Kensington is over here, past this line. See, they don't know what they talking about. West Kensington is past this red line. Badlands goes all throughout this red line. So Masher and Lehigh is, hold on. Second Street. This is Masher and Lehigh right here, brother. That's where I used to play at this basketball court right here. You're within Badlands. So when motherfuckers be ask you where you from, you say Badlands, nigga. Fuck they talking about. Never heard it called Badlands. Well, now you know, brother. I lived over here my whole life. You was born in 88. Oh, all right. So you about to be 40 and like what you 37? You gonna be 37? That's what's up. Appreciate you coming through, brother. I'm 27. Learn something new every day. I wouldn't lie to you, brother. That's where you from. You from? You from Badlands, Fair Hill section of Philly. It's called Badlands. If you go on Google and you put Fair Hill, Philadelphia, and pull up that Wikipedia article, it'll tell you. Oh, Hunting Park. Oh, wow. Yeah, Hunting Park got. Listen, bro. Hunting Park got some beautiful women. Beautiful Dominican women, beautiful Puerto Rican women. Juniata got beautiful. Juniata, Hunting Park, bro. My neighborhood ain't really known. They be hood rats and smokers and shit over here. Juniata, Hunting Park. Where else? Juniata, Hunting Park. I guess some parts of Kensington be having them Jones too. They just be in the tuck. But Hunting Park, Juniata, bro. Dang. I'm just being honest. Listen, man. Look, I could talk about women, bro. My girl not one of them. I could talk about women. I ain't saying I'm gonna fuck any of these women or nothing like that, bro. I could talk about pretty women. We men. First kiss from a Badlands girl. You gotta check if you got herpes, cuz. Say no, I'm fucking with you. No, that's not funny. Um, Shit. Next gen said, who you got between Anthony Kasase and Oshaki if they fought? Anthony's on a fucking run, bro. He's on a fucking run. But Oshaki could box. He got skills. That'll be a good ass fight, actually. 'Cause I feel like I got Oshaki. And I know I shouldn't be going against this motherfucker because he on a run. Who he beat? He beat Lee Wood. He beat Joe Cordina. And what was the other motherfucker name? He on a run. And he older, right? He up there in age a little bit. Am I tripping? Yeah, I don't think Oshagi should really be trying to get into a firefight with the nigga. I think if he boxing, he should be all right. Yeah, he like 36. That's old for a boxer, bro. Well, it's old for a boxer if you like started young. You know what I mean? Now, if you start boxing and you're probably late 20s or whatever the case is, you still got a lot left. It's all about how you preserve yourself, honestly. But that's when a lot of motherfuckers start to slip when they up there and that around that age group. Beat Josh Warrington. See, those some good names. Josh Warrington, Lee Wood, and fucking now I forgot the other dude name. That's how you know I'm tired, bro. My brain be operating like at high levels when I'm awake. Josh Warrington, Lee Wood, and fucking see, now that shit done lost me. I'm burnt out. And Joe Cordina, my fault. Uh Said that one area you just named is where they killed the voice of the youth the other day. Quad. Yeah, that's unfortunate. You know what's so crazy about Quad G? Um and for those of y'all who don't know, he was like a like he was known for like his freestyles and spitting positivity. He was a good rapper. First of all, I didn't know that he lived down the block from me. All that, bro. I seen his videos go viral for years. Never knew that he lived down the block from me. And just about like 2 months ago, 1 or 2 months ago, bro, he was in my gym for a month straight on my son life. On my son life, bro. He came in every day for like a month, like 2 months ago. He was coming in with his peoples, and they was he would go in, he'd be doing pull-ups. You know what I mean? He was hitting the bag and all types of shit. And I was like, yo, I told my pop was like, oh, you know who that is? He's supposed to be some type of rapper. I'm like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I seen bro, his videos will go viral all the time. Bro, he like some of his last days was at Pivot Boxing Academy, bro. It's crazy. Crazy. But what's crazy is I never introduced myself. Cause like I don't never want to be like one of them Joe niggas that be like, yo, bro, I'll be watching your videos, man. Like that's cringe to me. You feel me? But I spoke to his peoples and shit like that, but I didn't get the chance to speak to him, unfortunately. But yeah, man, that was unfortunate. You know what I mean? From what I heard, it was a robbery. Um, I guess he didn't want to give up his jewelry and they shot him. You know, that's gonna be a whole war behind that. So, yeah, I mean, for anybody who's in the junior section, stay out that way. Please stay up out that way. Um, yeah, that sucks, bro. This nigga, that's how you know he ain't from Philly. This nigga said, I'm from North 29th Street and West Diamond Street. Like, niggas don't say the North and the West, you dumbass nigga. I don't say, oh, I'm from North 7th and West Lehigh Avenue. Nobody says that. Should just gave the jewelry. They probably was gonna pop him anyway, bro. I done heard a situation like in Philly. They so cutthroat, bro. Especially if you got a bag on your head or something, or niggas want to make an example out of you. Like I done see people. I didn't see it personally, but I done heard of people like with no hesitation hand them the chain and they still get shot and die. So it's like who knows? But their main goal is probably to shoot him anyway. Niggas cold like that, bro. I've seen people hand their jewelry up and still get popped. You know what I mean? So sad. It's like in Philly, you can't be flashy. First, bro, if you wanna be okay in Philly, bro, you need to lay low for one. Um, don't be outside too long. Uh, you can't be flashy. Don't be wearing no expensive chain. Don't be wearing no big chains that got jewelry. 'Cause I got jewelry. I got diamonds. I got gold. I always got gold on me and shit like that. But you think I just be out just fuck no. I mean I got gold tennis bracelet right over there. Brand new. Expensive as shit. Not wearing that shit out here, bro. That shit'll get you jammed. You feel me? But boxing's slow in all honesty, man. But what else y'all thinking about? What y'all thinking about? Y'all see Jake Paul? Jake Paul locking in a fight with Gervonta in November, bro. Bro, on some real shit, like hearing that really irritated me, bro. And I know this is gonna bother some people, but I really hope Lamont beat Tank ass so we don't never get to see that, bro. Like for real, bro. Cause Tank's whole intention is all right, we gonna get this rematch in, then we gonna I guess he assumed he's just going because look, if they fight in August and then him and Jake Paul fight in November, September, October, November, it's well, he's just gonna have 2 months off and then just jump right into the Jake Paul fight. Like he might be looking at Lamont as some type of short work or something. I need Lamont to fuck them plans up, bro. Lamont need to fuck them plans up. We should not be looking forward to no fucking Tank and no Jake Paul, bro. Well, all these big fights that Tank got in or around his division, there's no reason why you shouldn't be fighting no Shakur. There's no reason why you shouldn't be fighting no Keyshawn. At 140, fighting, like a credible name at 140, a Teofimo Lopez. Tio still down there. Go get your work. But you about to fight a man whose last fight was at heavyweight. Chavez is most likely going to be a cruiserweight contest. What business do you got fighting Jake Paul? I understand there's some money and shit like that, but you can make money anywhere. You this big draw, right? You sell out everywhere you go. You gonna make a bag regardless. You saying that you really in 130 and that Devin Haney is too big and all this other shit. Y'all done made excuses about Devin Haney being too big, but he about to fight a fucking Jake Paul. He's about to fight a Jake Paul. That last fight was at heavyweight. Damn near had 100 pounds over Tank in his last fight. And you telling me that Devin Haney too big for him. Bro, I need Lamont to fuck these players up, bro. This motherfucker Gervonta is a disgrace. He's a fucking disgrace, bro. I'm so sick of just seeing this man move how the way he be moving. Don't give a fuck about what nothing the fans think. Say belts don't matter. He make excuses for why the top guys that he should be fighting ain't worthy of fighting him. He discredit everybody. He uplift PED users. Bro, like he get called all types of monkeys and he don't respond. He be making all these empty threats, talking about he's gonna slap T.O. Ain't do shit to T.O. yet. This dude Tank is a fucking goofy, bro. Why do I think Javier Herrera's trash? Did you see his fights? You think he's sharp? I hope you ain't falling victim to the eye test or looking at people's records and just assuming they nice. Javier Herrera's trash. Shakur would step on him. I bet you Shakur get better sparring partners than that. I bet you Shakur be sparring dudes that's better than Javier Herrera. I was watching the fight. I'm like, oh, he trash. Because people talking about Shakur Duck and Javier Herrera. I said, let me go check this nigga out. Cause I never even heard the dude until he was a possible opponent for Shakur. So I went and I checked him out. Bro, he ass. He don't do nothing spectacular. That's like, oh, that might give Shakur some problems. Not at all. Look at his game. Look at Javier Herrera's game. Really analyze it and be like, what is it about his style that can give Shakur problems? You're not gonna find none. Okay. You think he got skills? That's your opinion, brother. I mean, of course he got skills, but do he got the skills necessary to beat a Shakur? No, he don't. A lot of motherfuckers don't. This a nigga anonymous nigga said sloppiest Cuban I've ever seen. Skull got better skills than him. Yeah, bro. He ain't got that Cuban style that everybody be talking about. I'll tell you that. You know what I mean? When I'm thinking like the Cuban style, I'm thinking Landy Lara, Guillermo Ringendown, Luis Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking of them motherfuckers, bro. Landy Lara, the man, bro. That man he probably the most underappreciated. Landy Lara got, and I told Cornflake this to his face. I think he the most underappreciated fighter of this era, bro. Hawaiian Cuban is hilarious. I genuinely feel like Landy Lara the most underappreciated fighter in boxing today. Like he's the way that this man has gotten older and completely changed his style up and even become more dangerous is crazy. How you get older and become more dangerous? Lara showed he was a dog in the Castano fight, and he showed he was a dog in the Jared Hurd fight. And I don't know if Jared Hurd. I was watching that, John. I don't know. I probably gotta watch it again. I don't know if Jared Hurd beat Lara, bro. Not said Tank got the skills, but he pussy to get in the ring with him. That's crazy. Yeah, that Lara Angulo fight was wild. Lara done, Lara don't really say, don't really fuck niggas up, bro. I was watching him beat Paul Williams' ass, bro. I can't believe they would rob Lara like that. I can't believe they robbed Lara like that, bro. Yeah, Angulo was a heavy hitter back when he was young, bro. I seen what he did to Gabe Rosado. I was like, God damn. I ain't never seen him, besides like David Lemieux, I ain't never seen nobody do Gabe Rosado like that, bro. That shit was crazy. A young Arizlani Lara was a fucking animal though. But the way that he's been able to, understand that he's older and, just be more, conservative with his style. But just now, he's just a ferocious puncher now, bro. Shit's crazy. Yo, Vanez Martin Rosen was a solid dude at 54 when he was coming up, bro. I watched how he put Andrade on his ass. I was like, damn. And how Vanez Martin Rosen gave Jermell Charlo work. Y'all remember that shit? I remember watching that. Those people that thought Vanez beat Jermell. I remember that shit. Nah, Vanez gonna go fight Triple G. I was like, yo, what's wrong with this nigga? Oh, you crazy. And he ain't fight since Triple G. That's crazy. I remember Willie Nelson. My favorite performance from Demetrius Andrade was against Willie Nelson. Demetrius Andrade showed he was special that night. That's why I'm so sad his career been going how the way it been going. When y'all watch Demetrius Andrade versus Willie Nelson, bro, that was like different level, bro. That Andrade was supposed to be a superstar, y'all. Super sad. I see he training right now though, so he getting ready for something. But yep, Willie Nelson knocked Tony Harrison out early in his career. Jared Hurd also knocked out Tony Harrison. That's how he got his first world title. I met Jared Hurd right after he beat Tony Harrison. Eddie Hearn didn't do nothing for Andre the whole time Andre was with the zone. I just think that Eddie Hearn couldn't pitch Andre to nobody, bro, because he was such a high risk, bro. And you wasn't gonna make much money off of him. Like he kept Andre active. He gave him fights. He got him money. He got him paid. But I think that it was just a tough sell. I think it was a tough sell, bro. Eddie Hearn not in the business to lose money, so you know he know that Android ain't gonna generate much revenue. It was just a tough situation. I'm not giving Eddie a pass, but it's like I kind of understand why he had trouble selling Android to the top guys. They don't want to take that risk. Like, so I'm gonna take this little bit amount of money to fight Andre when there's a probability I might lose, and my purses get cut in half. You feel me? The only motherfucker that wanted to fight Andre was a nigga who didn't give a fuck about the money. David Benavidez. You could tell he don't give a fuck about the money. He don't even be he don't be caring about none of that. He be like, "Oh, who the best? All right, let's get him. Go right to him." They don't be mentioning Andre name. Andre came off of a loss. He hasn't fought since he lost to Benavidez. They still don't want to rumble him. The Charlos is avoiding Andre like crazy. Well, I know Andre had a fight lined up with Jermell. And I think like when the fight was getting close, something happened, bro. They had one there was two sides of the story, or whatever the case is. But Andre claimed that his management at the time, I think it was Rock Nation, fucked up that deal or some shit like that. And I think it was like 3 weeks before the fight was supposed to happen. It would have been dope to see like an Andre versus Lara, Andre versus Jermell Charlo or Jamal Charlo. Shit, maybe both of them. Hopefully we can still see that though. Like an Andre versus Jamal Charlo, Andre versus Plant. That'd be a good joint, bro. Sad how his career went, bro. Because Andre was trying to rumble everybody, bro. Everybody. He was trying to get Triple G. They didn't want to fight. He tried to fight Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe Saunders popped positive. You know, um, he calling out Caleb Plant right now. Caleb Plant act like he don't hear him. I don't know why. Maybe because Caleb Plant feel like he got bigger fish to fry or whatever. And that's cool. But I mean, Andre would have been better than Resendiz for sure. Canelo avoided Andre. Yes, he did. Ever since 154. Bro, if you go on the boxing voice right now, interview from like 10 years ago. Andre straight calling Canelo a bitch. I'm talking like disrespecting him crazy when they was at 154. He said, Canelo, you a bitch. I'm like, damn, he was talking. Ain't nobody ever checked him. Nobody ever checked him. Andre really tried though, bro. Like he probably feels so defeated. I feel terrible for him. 'Cause I remember him going to the Charlo's press conference and he like, yo, when can me and you rumble? Like, you what's up? And Jamal Charlo was like, I'm not a matchmaker, bro. I'm not a matchmaker, bro. I ain't a matchmaker. Y'all be calling yourselves your own boss, but y'all, whenever niggas call y'all out to fight, you talking about, I'm not a matchmaker, bro. Pussy, pussy. You feel what I'm saying? Then fucking Andre ran down on Canelo like, yo, what's up? Like, oh, get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. Get the man, fuck you, man. Fuck you, man. You payday? You want payday? I know that. Like Andre tried, bro. He tried to get the promoters to back him. He even was telling begging the fans, like, yo, please demand me in these big fights because these guys will not fight me, man. Like, please call for these big fights. Nobody listen to Andre, bro. Nobody listen to Andre. Sad, bro. Some of that shit fell on Andre, like how the way his career turned out, signing with, certain promoters and shit like that, and being inactive, and a lot of that shit fell on him. But damn, like Andre was really a monster. I think he could have beat a lot of guys, bro. Especially at 54, he was a fucking beast. You watch that fight with Brian Rose, that was a world class ass whooping. That Willie Nelson one was my favorite fight from Andre, though. Fire. Yeah, Daniel Jacobs bitched up Jamal. Caleb Plant bitched up Jamal. Andre bitched up Jamal. Jared Hurd bitched up Jamal. How Jared Hurd reach around Jamal and slap Jamal? Like how that work? That's how you know Jamal pussy, bro. Like he a pacifist for real. He will not fight you outside the ring. He will not fight no nigga outside the ring, bro. How you let a nigga be like, yo, excuse me real quick, and then slap your brother and you do nothing? I seen David Benavidez push Jamal at the fights and he did nothing. That shit's all on video. David Benavidez he walks up on Jamal and pushes him. And then once they get in between, Jamal start hooting and hollering. Like, yo, this nigga's a fucking turkey, bro. Like, Jesus Christ. But you'll take a fan's phone and smash it or throw it or whatever the case is. Like, use a bitch, bro. Hmm. Damn, Jacobs was like, "Ooh, I came here at the perfect time." He said, "Yo, what was this shit?" He said, "I'm making." He said, "Man, I'm touching M's. You ain't making yet. I'm touching M's." Jamal was like, Man, you don't know what I make. Man, you don't know what I make. Man, shut your whole ass up." Jamal was like, "Man, well, let's fight then. Let's fight." Like talking real low, like real intimidated. He's a bitch. Hell of a fighter. He put the punches together on you. It could be a bad John. But outside the ring, he's a bitch. That loud ass mouth they be having and shit. That shit all a defense mechanism. They scary outside the ring for real. Some people don't fight outside their job. I mean, they shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? I get it. But me personally, like based off of what I know, um, I wouldn't go up to Caleb Plant and talk crazy to him. Just knowing how the way he set up, how the way he wired, I wouldn't go up to unless like I really wanted trouble. I wouldn't troll somebody like Caleb Plant because he might slap the shit out you. He might do something to you. You feel me? You can't play with everybody. But Jamal, I feel 100% confident that I could say whatever I want to Jamal and nothing to happen. Like he's soft like that. Wouldn't play like that with Caleb Plant though. 'Cause he fuck around and smack me like he did Jamal, and then I'm gonna have to, you know what I mean? I'm gonna have to get in my wrestling bag and scoop him. I don't want to have to do that. Shit. Yeah, Jamal's like, cause I'm really like that. Like, nigga, put that tequila down. Nigga, put that Terramana down. Fuck, nigga. Nigga on that Grand Carmino out here wilding, telling niggas you like that. Nigga, put that fireball down. Fuck, nigga. Mark got something against Philly. Yeah, he do. He beat J Rock. He's still salty about J Rock. Like, nigga, let it go. You fucking weirdo. You beat him already. What the fuck are you so mad about still? He squashed it with Plant after Plant slapped him twice. That's crazy to me. Well, I guess he's saving that energy for the fight, bro. If they rumble at the end of the year. Plant, the only nigga I know named Caleb that's tough. Yeah. Yeah, every Caleb I know soft. I'm gonna tell my mom. Niggas be like 15. I'm gonna tell my mom. This is the type niggas that's named Caleb. I'm definitely gonna tell my mom. Nigga, fuck you and your mother, nigga. Tell him I said that too. Niggas be teenagers. I'm gonna tell my mom. The fuck you and your mom. Ho ass. Like your mom's a thought, Caleb. Oh, I'm gonna tell my mom now. Yep. I wasn't going to, but now I'm gonna tell my mom. Ho ass. But all right, y'all. I appreciate everybody that came through and showed love to the channel, man. Um, this was a great live. You know, started off pretty rocky, considering my internet issues, but we got that shit through and we was able to talk some boxing and get into some other topics as well. You feel what I'm saying? Boxing was a bit slow today, so my apologies for not coming up with the best headlines, but it ain't always gonna be like that. It ain't always gonna be lit. Sometimes boxing's slow, so um, we'll have better conversations tomorrow, man. I appreciate everybody that came through and showed love. If y'all go ahead and hit the like button on the way out, that'd be very much appreciated. Until then, this is Mazuma TV, the home of boxing excellence, reporting to y'all. I hope y'all have a blessed, beautiful night. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.